We are coming up on Purim. It's almost here, and I want to focus on a bit of the Megillah, the beginning of chapter 8. It's past when most people have stopped paying attention, maybe because they're bored, maybe because they left, maybe because they had one too many celebratory drinks. But chapter 8 begins, V'yomahu natan hamelech Achashverosh le'Esther hamalka et Beit Haman, Tzorah Yudim, that on that day, the day that Haman was hanged, King Ahasuerus gave to Esther the queen the home of Haman, the enemy of the Jews. So Megillat Esther makes it clear that after after his plot was foiled, and he was hanged on the gallows that he made for Mordecai, the reappropriation began. Haman's estate was taken from his heirs. His 10 sons didn't have long to live in any event. They just had one more chapter to live. And is given to the victorious Esther. Haman plotted to murder Jews, was defeated, and has his estate expropriated and given to his rival. The Megillah makes that very clear. Less well known is what Esther did with her new property. Now, for those details, Jews traditionally turn to the Midrash. Midrash are collections of elucidations of sacred scripture that often date to ancient times. So one Midrashic collection, the Maralagoiot edition of the Midrash Mordechai, sheds new light on how the ancient rabbis read the above passage. When King Ahasuerus decided to reapportion Haman's land, he ran into serious opposition from the kings of surrounding lands, and he and Esther needed a new plan. That explains the very next verse, Esther 8:2. Vatasim Esther at Mordechai al Beit Haman. Esther gave Haman's estate to Mordechai. What did Mordechai do with Haman's estate? That's where the Midrash gets interesting. Mordechai, it turns out, was not just someone who was adept at sitting in sackcloth in the king's gate. He also had a vision for land use. The Midrash teaches us that Mordechai found out that property has many individual rooms, that Haman's home had many individual rooms, as well as a staff whose skill at building gallows could be turned into more productive use. So he turned Haman's estate into something of a spa, the ancient version of a resort. Mordechai, I'm quoting from Midrash Maralagoiot, Mordechai realized that the house of Haman fronted onto the waterfront of Shushan and was indeed worth many millions if it were not used for hate, but for profit. So Mordechai used the waterfront property to build up Shushan's tourist industry, giving visitors from all 127 provinces of Ahasuerus' kingdom a place to vacation. Was this the right thing to do? Modern scholars point out that the family of Haman was not involved in his evil plot and didn't deserve to be expelled in favor of the Shushan Springs Resort. Others say that Shushan, different rules apply there. Regardless of how we read the story, it's striking to know that in this ancient story of an attempted genocide of the Jews, Esther and Mordechai's creativity and bravery save the day, but it's their real estate savvy that really builds the royal treasury, allowing Ahasuerus many more years of misrule. As we celebrate a holiday that turns the most serious matters into a parody, we should remind ourselves that Esther, from the moment she was invited into the palace, kept her Jewish identity hidden, but couldn't hide the fact that she knew the first mitzvah of real estate: location, location, location. Or in Hebrew, makom, makom, makom. Perhaps a hint at God's presence in the story of Purim. Chag Purim Sameach.